Welcome back to Wittenberg Academy's Latin 1 course. We are in the book First Year Latin. We're ready for Lesson 9 on page 19. Section 1, review the present indicative active of laudo. So let's do that. Laudo, laudas, laudat, laudamus, laudatis, laudant. And just the endings, o, as, at, amus, atis, ant. Very good. We've got some new vocabulary. Aquila, culina, galena, waka, willa, hobbit. He has witted. He sees. Okay, so a little different from hobbit and witted are a little different from laudo, right? Because the third person singular of laudo is laudat with an a at the end, at ending. This hobbit is et. So different Latin verbs will have different endings. There's a whole class of verbs like laudo that ends in at in the third person singular. There's a whole class of verbs like habeo that end in et. We'll get to those in time. So we have a little note there. In asking a question, the ne is added to the emphatic word, as in habetne willam. Does he have a villa? But if the interrogative word is used as ubi, which means where, or cur, which means why, one does not use ne. Okay. So let's go to exercises 3b, translate into English. Agricola galinas in culina vidit. Let's translate that. Agricola galinas in culina vidit. Agricola, what case? What case? What case? Agricola? Could be ablative, but then the ending would be long. It would be agricola. This is just agricola, so it's nominative singular. So agricola is the subject of the sentence. Galinas, what case is that? Galinas. What gives that as ending? A, I, am, a. I, arum, is, as, is. What's that? Accusative plural. So galinas is the direct object. In culina, well, we know in is always followed by what case? Ablative, so that's all that's doing. And vidit, what does that mean? That was a verb that we just learned. He sees. So the whole thing is, who sees? What's the nominative? What goes with the verb?
The farmer.
The farmer sees. What does he see? The farmer sees how many? Not galinum, but galinas. Well, more than one. The farmer sees the hens in the kitchen. Very good. Aquila columbam in silva vidit. Let's read it together. Aquila columbam in silva vidit. Aquila is in what case? Nominative, so it is the subject. Columbam is in the accusative, so it is the direct object. In silva, in is always followed by what case? Ablative in silva. And vidit, he, she, or it sees. Aquila columbam in silva vidit. The eagle sees the dove in the forest. The eagle sees the dove in the forest. Very good. Femina villam in insula habet. Femina villam in insula habet. Femina is what case? Nominative singular, so it's the subject. Villam is accusative, so it is the object. In always takes the ablative. Habet means he, she, or it has. So the woman has a villa on an island. Very nice place to have a villa. Galinasna in Willa habet. Galinasna in Willa habet. Galinas. What case is Galinas?
Accusative plural.
Very good. Accusative plural. So it is the object. So the object of the sentence can come first. That almost never happens in English, but it happens all the time in Latin. You can have the object come first. So Galinas is the object. In Willa, well, in just always takes the ablative, in a villa, in the villa. And habet means what? He, she, or it has. Now notice there's nothing here in the nominative. There's no subject here. It's just the subject is included in the verb. So habet just means he has. Or in this case it's a question. Does he have hens in the villa? Does he have hens in the villa? Okay. Puella galinas et colombas in villa habet. Puella galinas et colombas in villa habet. What case is puella?
Nominative.
Nominative. What case? So it's the subject. What case is galinas?
Accusative.
Accusative plural. So it's the object. Colombas. What case? Accusative plural again. So those two are the object. In Willa, in is followed by the ablative. Habet we know means he, she, or it has. So who has? What's the nominative? What goes with the verb?
The girl has hens and doves in the villa.
Very good. The girl has hens and doves in the villa. Agricola vacas in insula habet. Agricola vacas in insula habet. So nominative is the Agricola, so the farmer, where's the verb that goes with him? Habet. The farmer has, what does he have? Vacas, cows, it's in the accusative, on the island. The farmer has cows on the island. Femina nautam in aqua vidit. Femina nautam in aqua vidit. What's the subject? Femina. How do you know it's the subject? It's in the nominative. What's the object? Nautam. How do you know it's the object, the direct object? It's in the accusative. What's the verb? Vidit. What goes with the verb? No. Femina goes with the verb because it's in the nominative. Femina vidit. So the woman sees a sailor in the water. Okay, let's try putting some things into Latin. The farmer has cows. So how do you say the farmer? He's the subject of your sentence.
Agricola.
Agricola. How do you say has?
Habet.
Habet. And how do you say cows? Now, vacas. Very good. Because you want accusative plural, because there are many cows, and they're the object. Now in good Latin, we're always going to put the verb last. Agricola vacas habet. The farmer has cows. Does the girl see the cows? Does the girl see the cows? What's the subject of this sentence?
Puella.
Puella. Very good. The girl. So puella, or we're going to say puellane, puellane, puellana. Does the girl see the cows? What case does cows need to be in?
Accusative.
Accusative, because it is the object. Does the girl see the cows? Or let's say, videtna puella vacas. Videtna puella vacas. Does the girl see the cows? The girl sees the cows and the hens. What's the subject?
Puella.
Puella. What's the object?
Cows and hens.
Cows and hens. So what case do they need to be in? Vacas and galinas. They need to be in the accusative because they are the object. They need to be in the accusative because they are the object. Puella vacas et gallinas vidit. Puella vacas et gallinas vidit. The sailor sees the country houses on the island. What's the subject? Sailor. Nauta. What is the object? But in English, what's the object? The country houses. That's what he's seeing. So nauta, and what case does willa need to be in? Accusative. So nauta willas. How do you say on the island? How do you say on the island? In insula. Very good. In insula. The ablative after N. In insula. So nauta, the farmer, willas in insula vidit. Nauta willas in insula vidit. The sailor sees the villas on the island. The poet's daughter sees the doves. The poet's daughter sees the doves. What is the subject of the sentence? The poet's daughter sees the doves. What's the subject? The daughter is the subject. The daughter is the subject. And how do you say the poets in English, or excuse me, in Latin? What case do you use for possession or of? Genitive. The genitive, because you could also say the daughter of the poet. That's your genitive. So daughter is philia. It's in the nominative because she is the subject. Of the poet, poetae, genitive, poetae. Philia poetae, the daughter of the poet. Philia poetae sees the doves. Columbas vidit. Columbas vidit. Excuse me, Columbas vidit. Columbas vidit. The woman has roses in the villa. What's the subject? Femina. Very good. What's the object? Rose. Well, roses, but what case does an object need to be in? Accusative. So, rosas. Femina rosas in villa habet. Femina rosas in villa habet. Very good. We've got our first assignment here from Wheelock for today. So Wheelock, page 413. If you look there, you'll see that there are exercises for chapters 1 and 2. And I give what numbers you're supposed to be doing. And then these are self-tutorial exercises because there is an answer key which begins on page 446. So you'll write out your answers in these, this is for your practice, and then correct them. And you're also learning all the vocabulary in Wheelock chapter 2, that's coming up. For now, I believe you're just going to do the chapter 1 on page 413. You're just doing the questions for caput unum for chapter 1 on page 413, because we haven't learned the vocabulary in Wheelock chapter 2 yet. So do those as your practice, and then you can grade those. You're not going to get a grade on these self-practice exercises. This is just for your benefit to give you more practice. Study your paradigms, your forms, study your vocabulary, and then we'll kind of check up with everybody online and we'll see how everybody's doing. We might take a review week next week if we need to slow down a little, or we might carry on right away with lesson 10 in our course of study for week 3. So we'll discuss that in the discussion forums online and make sure we're all set to go. But at any rate, congratulations, you're done with your second week of Latin. This does it for lesson 9.